Welcome to today's live stream. I hope you are feeling well. Oh, we are back, everyone. It's so nice to be with you once again. Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Duncan and Mr. Steve here now live on YouTube. It's nice to see you here today. I hope you are having a good Wednesday. We have made it all the way to the middle of a week, and it's been a busy week. Another week has gone by halfway, and we've had such a busy one. Yesterday we decided to go out and spend a little bit of time enjoying Valentine's Day yesterday. Did you get something nice? Did you get something nice?
No.
Oh.
Hello everyone. Can I say my welcome and add my hello to everybody across the globe? It's lovely to be here again on a Wednesday afternoon, as it is here in the UK. It may be different where you are, but here it's 2 p.m. Well, of course, it's just after 2 p.m. because we're late.
We're not
late. Only by a few minutes.
No,
I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm joking.
It's hilarious, by the way, that. Good. Okay. Well, goodbye, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed today's live chat. Ta-ta for now. So here we are. Love is in the air. And we're not talking about here. Maybe out there somewhere. Did you have a nice Valentine's Day? Was it a good one? Was it a nice one? Did you receive maybe a surprise gift that you weren't expecting? Maybe something you weren't prepared for, perhaps? Maybe a secret admirer?
Yes. Did somebody that you were attracted to, did they make an approach to you? Have you got a bit of excitement? Is the love in the air for you that wasn't before? Or was it just the usual exchange of maybe chocolates, flowers and a card to somebody that you've been around with for many, many years?
I was watching a lovely video yesterday of a couple, and they were both in their 90s, and they've been together for most of their life. They met as teenage sweethearts, and then they fell in love, got married, and they're still together, and they tell each other every day that they love each other. They say it every single day, and it's a lovely little video clip. I found it yesterday on Twitter. I can't show it, unfortunately, because of copyright rules, but it was lovely, and that's it. That's what it's all about, I suppose. Everyone is looking for that special someone. And of course, tomorrow, it's also a special day because Mr. Steve is having his birthday tomorrow.
21 again.
Another year older.
Another year older, but another year wiser, as they say.
I'm not sure about that.
As you get old, the youthful elements of your body disappear to be replaced by wisdom. And I don't think I'd want to be 21 again, Mr. Duncan, particularly.
I definitely wouldn't.
I think I'm having more fun now at 62 well, I'm not 62 until tomorrow, than I was when I was in my early 20s. So, I think, a bit of experience. You stop worrying about things as much as you get older.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
Well,
I think your worries actually change. I hated my life up until I was around 22 or 23. And then I started to discover more about myself, and I became more confident in this crazy world. But I didn't really like my young years, so I wouldn't like to relive them if I was completely honest with you. But I do like this period, to be honest. I quite like it. It's not too bad. Who would have thought being in your late 50s would be so nice?
That was a strange noise I heard then, Mr. Duncan. Was it something on the roof?
I don't know.
Anyway, I've got one word to say to you, and that's balls.
Balls, eh?
Specifically meatballs, which is what Claudia is cooking.
Oh.
With potatoes and sweet potatoes.
I don't mind the meatballs.
Just for you, I think, Mr. Duncan.
Yeah.
Claudia knows that you like potatoes. She knows that you like meatballs. And she's combined the two in what sounds like a dish to savour.
It sounds good.
Yes, something to savour, something to enjoy, something to excite your taste buds. If you say a meal is something to savour, it means something to enjoy, doesn't it, Mr. Duncan?
Yes,
Something
anything, in fact.
Can be anything, doesn't have to be food.
Any experience that you want to relive or remember again and again and again.
I want to savour that moment. It means you want to go over it in your mind and relive it and think about it and all its good points.
I like the
It's
sound
a
of
positive phrase.
that. I like the sound of that.
Yes.
So we are here together again, and can I say hello to the live chat? Congratulations to Alexander.
Yes.
Hello to you. You are first on today's live chat. Okay.
Well done. Alexander Nemanov. Can we call you Alexander the Great?
I'm not sure about that.
I think we will. And it's nice to see a new name up there, isn't it, Mr.
Yes.
Duncan?
Well, I think Alexander's been here before.
Yes, I meant first on the list.
Oh, okay. Then. But Vitas is in second place, not far behind.
And Nisa and Francesca and Reham, Hamda, Francesca, Lewis, Beatrice. Yeah, and Angso Mo. Angso Mo. Oh, Ungso Mo. Are you new to this channel?
Yes, I don't recognise your name. So where are you watching at the moment?
Is this new to you? And, well, I'm sure you'll soon get the hang of it.
I would imagine a lot of people today are a little intrigued by the thumbnail on today's live stream, because we are talking about words and phrases connected to drag. And it is a word that can be used in many ways. It can describe how something is interacting with something else. It can also talk about or describe time and how it seems to be going ever so slowly, and also other things as well. We will be looking at that a little bit later on. Also, we're taking a look at what we were doing yesterday. So we have a short video showing us out and about yesterday on Valentine's Day.
Can I also say hello to Bassam? Bassam Architecture. I think you could be new as well. From Iraq. Or were you here the other day? Does that ring a bell to you, that name, Mr. Duncan?
I think Bassam has been here before.
So we'll say hi anyway, because it's always nice to see different names on the live chat. So yes, we did have a bit of a... Krishanu wants us to tell ghost stories.
Ghost stories today?
In England. The whole of the UK is haunted, says Krishanu. Well, quite often places of ancient history where there has been a lot of history of maybe there was a battle, maybe there was a building that's been there for hundreds of years, an old settlement.
Maybe a murder.
Maybe something happened and there's been this continuation over maybe hundreds of years of people always being in this same place. Often takes on that people tend to think of those places as being maybe haunted with ghosts.
Personally, can I just say personally, I don't believe in ghosts or ghouls or anything like that. So I don't believe in it, but there are a lot of people who do. And there are lots of television shows where people go around. However, I think all of them are fake. None of them are real. They just overreact to nothing in a dark room using an infrared camera. And that's all you need to do, really. You don't have to ever prove that there is a ghost nearby. You never have to do that.
I think people do associate places in the UK with ghosts because we've got a lot of history in particularly England, Scotland and Wales. lots of old buildings. You know, we can trace history back a long time, so people tend to associate that with, you know, old castles or old buildings or something like that.
Or if something has happened in the past, maybe there's been a murder in a certain place and they believe that the victims are still alive in ghost form, floating around, tortured by their terrible ending. Talking of things that are ending, I noticed today, breaking news, Nicola Sturgeon. It sounds like a type of fish, doesn't it? But it isn't. Nicola is no more. She's not the First Minister of Scotland. She's saying goodbye. Because, well, basically a lot of people are not very happy with her, to be honest.
Palmyra's mentioned that.
Oh, okay.
As well, just as you mentioned it, just as you started talking about it, Palmyra made a comment.
Yes. Hello, Palmyra. Nice to see you here as well.
And you're right, Lewis. It's a bit of a mixed bag with the weather today.
Oh, can I just say, Luis Mendez is here. Is here today.
Who, along with many other people, are wishing me happy birthday for tomorrow.
We did actually have some birthday messages yesterday, because a few people thought it was your birthday yesterday, but it wasn't yesterday. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. Tomorrow is Steve's birthday, but we are hopefully going out somewhere, even though the weather isn't great. So we've had some nice weather, but today the weather's pretty awful. You might notice behind us it's actually raining at the moment. So we are having some rather gloomy weather.
We're not live tomorrow, somebody's asked, but we will be probably recording something to show on Sunday.
Yes.
Porfirio Gonzalez.
Hello.
From Costa Rica. Welcome to you too, a name I don't recognise unless you do, Mr. Duncan.
I think you are a new viewer.
Porfirio Gonzalez.
Hello.
Hello, and another person from South America.
We also have Krishano here as well. Nessar is here. We also have, who else is here today? Jurshid is here as well. Lots of people joining us today.
We do have a lot of people that watch us in South America, don't we?
We do.
And of course we welcome people from everywhere. But I think the time probably helps over there, doesn't it? With particularly people watching, because what they're behind.
Well, it's mid-morning.
That's right, mid-morning over there, yes.
Sort of early morning. A lot of people have just had their breakfast. Some people are just about to get ready to go to work. Or maybe some people are at work in South America. There is a news story at the moment that a lot of people are talking about, and it's one that is very close to my heart.
Really?
And it is something that's happened over the past couple of days here in this area. Have you heard about what could be the crime of the century, especially for people like me who love
intriguing.
Who love chocolate.
Oh, yes.
A man was arrested just around the corner from where we live after stealing lots and lots of Cadbury's cream eggs. The man faces jail after admitting theft of £200,000 worth of Cadbury's cream eggs. The man has pleaded guilty to theft and criminal damage after almost £200,000 worth of Cadbury's cream eggs were stolen from an industrial unit in Telford, which is very close to where we live. And apparently this has been reported all around the world. Even in the United States, across different parts of the world, everyone's been talking about this, because I think it is a terrible, terrible crime. A crime against chocolate.
Imagine the number of people that would have been deprived of their Cadbury's cream eggs because of this theft. Oh, well, I'm interested to know what they were doing. These eggs were doing in an industrial unit in Telford, because as far as I'm aware, they don't make them in Telford.
They don't, but there is actually a supplier who supplies confectionery to shops in this area. And they were all waiting to be delivered to various supermarkets and shops.
Oh,
so
right.
that's why they were there. And the man decided to take the Cadbury's cream eggs, and he was driving up the motorway, and the police did catch him. They caught him red-handed, and you might say that the police cracked the case.
Yes, and I expect he feels like he's a bit stupid, like he's got egg on his face now.
He's got egg on his face because he's foolish.
He's foolish.
Yes.
And cracked the case.
Yes, I just said that.
I know. Yeah, I'm just explaining the joke in case people don't realise we're joking.
If you crack the case, it means you solve the problem.
Yes.
The thing that has happened. You have found out what happened and why it happened. But I think that is a I hope he goes to prison for 50 years. If they still had capital punishment, if they still had the death sentence in this country, I would say that's it. That's it. Anything, if you steal chocolate, if you try to take people's chocolate away from them, I'm sorry, you're going up to those gallows straight away. No messing around.
Well, I expect people are in Europe, you see, who don't regard Cadbury's as proper chocolate.
Mm.
They don't in many parts of Europe, particularly in Belgium and Switzerland.
Yes, well,
and France.
even here, because they've changed the flavour.
Yes, it's not the same, but it's not because it doesn't contain a high amount of the bean itself. It's sort of more milk than it is chocolate.
Yes.
It's not regarded as the same quality as something from maybe Belgium or Switzerland.
Yes.
And in fact, didn't Europe at one point, the EU, try to downgrade Cadbury's so that it wasn't going to be called chocolate at all?
Well, a lot of this happened. It happened after Kraft They actually bought Cadbury's, and then they started messing around with all of the flavours and all of the types of ingredients. So now most people do not like Cadbury's chocolate, but I have to be honest, I still like it, and especially Cadbury's cream eggs. Ooh. So if Cadbury's are listening, we have mentioned your name quite a few times, so I think we are entitled to at least one box of Cadbury's cream eggs to be delivered to us. Thank you.
I'm not keen on them. There's too much sugary fondant and not enough chocolate for my liking. The chocolate should be thicker, and there should be less of that sugary, sweet fondant in the centre. That I don't like that. I tend to just eat the chocolate and throw the fondant away.
I do like. I like sickly things. However, I am trying to cut down on all of that. Oh, by the way,
yes.
Talking of eating things and not eating things, I was very pleased yesterday. We were getting ready, weren't we, to go out, and I put a pair of trousers on that I haven't worn for a while. But the last time I worn them, I couldn't get the button fastened around my waist. I had to wear a big belt to hold my trousers up. Well, yesterday, imagine my pleasure when I realised that because I've lost some weight with my new health regime,
yes,
I can now fasten my trouser button on this particular pair of trousers. So I was feeling really happy yesterday. I've lost, I think I've lost a couple of inches around my waist.
Yes, I bet you've lost half a stone at least, probably.
Something's happened.
But as you're not really, you're just cutting down. You're not. I know some people. You see, I've got a friend. Let's call them a friend, who is trying to lose weight, and she's using these apps on her phone.
Mm-hmm.
And literally every time they eat something, they're putting it into the app and adding up the calories. So, I mean, to the extent that they're weighing the cereal,
So they're weighing their food before they eat it?
And then calculating it and putting it into this app which shows you how many calories you're having, and it shows you how many you're supposed to have, and then you can see how many calories you can have for the rest of the day, things like that. I mean, that's fine, but I think it's just too much detail. I couldn't cope with that. I think if you just cut down on stuff, inevitably you will lose weight. I don't think you have to monitor it that carefully. It becomes a bit of an obsession.
Well, doesn't it just take the fun out of the food you are eating? So you can take it
Yes.
too far. So I'm not going crazy with my diet. I'm just eating a little less junk, and I'm taking more exercise, and I have been successful. I've actually lost some weight, and I have to say I do feel better. We had a lovely walk yesterday, as you will be seeing in a few moments. Yes, we were out and about yesterday.
Is Cadbury's British? Well, it was.
Not anymore.
It was a British company that was founded in Birmingham, in Bourneville, and hundreds of years old. And Cadbury, the man that James Cadbury was a philanthropist.
He
wasn't
was. Yes, he built houses for all of the workers.
For the workers.
So
yeah.
the original factory in Bourneville, he built all houses for the workers, and he treated them really well. And the place still exists. So Bourneville is the place where he created the brand and the factory, the first factory. But alas, like many things, it is no longer British. It is now owned by a large company called Kraft, an American company.
Yes. Which was a shame, really. I think how long's Cadbury's been around? When was the brand?
Well, it must be over 100 years.
It must be. So I think he was, early 1900s. He was building these buildings, homes for the people that worked there. Imagine that in those times, that was quite a big thing.
Yeah. But then
He looked after his workers.
A lot of industrialists did do that for the cotton mills as well in the north of England. A lot of mills were built, but also accommodation for the workers as well. So I think it was a thing that was done. And if you have the money to do it, it's a little bit like what I suppose Bill Gates does nowadays. He likes to share some of his wealth by doing nice things for other people.
Claudia won't be here next Wednesday. She's going on a bus trip to the seaside.
Oh.
Mar del Plata. We'll send a photograph. Yes, please do, in your bathing costume, and we will show the world. I'm joking. But whatever you want to show, please tell us. Lewis says, are you having some glitches? Do you mean that there's something wrong with the live stream today?
Well, there's certainly nothing wrong from this end. Everything is running perfectly.
Yes, but yes, we still eat Cadbury's chocolate, but doesn't taste quite the same anymore, unfortunately.
No.
So we tend to go for that well-known sort of Belgian brand, don't we, or Swiss brand, Lindt. I've always liked Lindt chocolate. What's that other one we have? The Gielian, which is that Lindt as well? Who makes that?
I have no idea. It tastes nice anyway.
What are those ones that we were eating last night?
Yes, Lindor.
Lindor. Yeah, that's Lindt again.
Yes, that's the one you mentioned
Lindor,
first.
that's it. Yes, so yes.
I do like Cadbury's cream eggs, anything really, anything that has chocolate.
We better stop talking about chocolate, Mr. Duncan, because we've been very good. You've been very good in not having chocolate. I mean, we had some last night because Valentine's.
Yes.
Got to have chocolate at Valentine's Day.
Yes, I think now and again, everything in moderation. A little of what you fancy does you good. So it's nice to have something, just don't have too much.
Claudia says, I will miss you. Will you miss me? Well, of course we will. We always miss people when they're not on the live stream. I mean, you'll have to get a black mark against your name if they're not attending. But I'm only joking.
Yes.
I'm only joking.
Yes. If only they were funny, these jokes, by the way.
Well, I'm just banter. It's not, it's just friendly banter, Mr. Duncan.
Okay.
Of course, you're welcome back. Anyone's welcome here anytime. People have to go on their holidays.
There's one thing I won't miss, and that's my big belly.
We allow people to go on holiday, don't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, why wouldn't we?
I know. I'm joking. I'm just joking.
Okay,
I'm just having a bit of fun, Mr. Duncan.
Yes, if you want to go on holiday, you can. But if you want to go on holiday and miss my live stream, can you take us with you and then we can be with you all the time. We can do our live stream actually with you in person. Wouldn't that be
The
lovely?
meat, all I can think about now is meatballs and potatoes.
Yes.
That wouldn't be good for your diet, would it, Mr. Duncan?
It doesn't. Well, again, just moderation.
I know, I'm just joking.
Anyway,
I'm just joking.
Yesterday we were out and about. We are going to have a look at Mr. Steve's plant as well later on, because it has come out in flower.
Incredible.
Yes, it looks lovely. So we will be looking at that. But yesterday we were out and about. We were having a lovely walk. We were in a place not very far away from where we live. Would you like to have a look? Well, here it is right now, whether you want to or not. This is what we were getting up to yesterday on Valentine's Day. Oh, hello everyone. Are you enjoying today's live stream? I really hope you are. I hope it is reaching all of the parts all the other live streams cannot reach. Here we are. This is recorded. We are now here on Tuesday. It's Valentine's Day, and we decided, didn't we, Steve, to come out and have a lovely walk because the weather is so nice, and we've come to a lovely place called Iron Bridge. Of course, if you are regular viewers, you will know that I have made a video all about this place, a very famous structure built in 1779. It is the first fully constructed iron bridge in the world. Wow! And Mr. Steve is here. What have we just done?
Well, we've had a very romantic meal, Mr. Duncan. You can't. Us old fogies, we know how to handle romance.
Yes.
So we decided to go for fish and chips.
Yes, we've had fish and chips.
Fish and chips and mushy peas.
I have to say, it's not the most romantic thing in the world, but it was nice. It has filled my stomach, and we have had a lovely walk. So I would say that this is a nice place to come. So you can see just behind us, if I move aside, there it is. There is the Iron Bridge in all its glory. About 4 years ago, they repainted this.
It doesn't look like it.
Yes, but they painted it in its original colour. So over the past years, it's been grey, not very inspiring. So they actually repainted it in its original colour.
The colour of rust.
Yes, so it does look like rust, which I think is a good idea when you think about it, because iron might go rusty. So I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, looks good to me, Mr. Duncan. And it gives a little colour to what is otherwise quite a dull town.
So how was your Valentine's Day? Did you do something romantic? Did you get any lovely cards? Did someone come up to you in the street and give you a kiss and a cuddle? I hope so. We will return you now back to the live stream, and we will allow you to enjoy the rest of today's lovely, lovely English class. Ta-ta for now. Oh, Mr. Steve. We are back. And that is what we were doing yesterday. We were out and about. We had fish and chips. They weren't the best fish and chips that I've ever eaten. I have to be honest. They weren't that good, but they were all right. And it did fill my little stomach. What else did we do yesterday? We had a lovely walk as well along the riverbank. And we also made a little video for you as well. Very nice.
Which is what you just viewed. Yes, it was. Well, we didn't. It was. It's nice to do something, isn't it, on Valentine's Day? And we've got it recorded. Mr. Duncan films everything, and fish and chips doesn't sound very romantic, but we haven't had fish and chips for a long time, and it's nice to do something different. That well-known British meal that everybody knows across the world, fish and chips.
You know that British food, British cooking, or anything that we see as traditional British food is seen as not very good here. So we had fish and chips yesterday. Not too bad. And then afterwards, a lovely walk. And then we came back home. And then Mr. Steve went out last night to do some singing. And then Mr. Steve came back and we sat down and we had a little bit of chocolate.
We stuffed ourselves with the Lindor chocolate.
So we finished off yesterday with a little treat as well.
About 5 balls. They're quite big, the Lindor chocolates, aren't they?
They are.
But they melt too quickly. They don't last long enough, I don't think. But anyway, never mind. We had a nice time. Oh, I know that. Yes, a lot of people reminiscing about watching your Iron Bridge lesson.
Yes. Well, I'm thinking of actually going back there and remaking it, because there were some things I wasn't very happy about with that video. So I would love to go back and actually write some new script and do a new one. So I might do that this year. As I mentioned, it is Mr. Steve's birthday tomorrow. Do you remember 2 years ago what happened on this live stream? Do you remember?
Was I opening gifts from you?
Yes, and we were in the kitchen because 2 years ago it was
my 60th.
And also it was Pancake Day.
On the same day?
On your birthday. So we did both things at the same time, and I bought Mr. Steve a lovely gift. I bought Mr. Steve his dream car. So there it was. And I've never seen you look so happy. And I've certainly never seen you look so happy since. But there is Mr. Steve with a little present that I gave him 2 years ago on the live stream. And you were quite surprised.
Taken aback.
You were, definitely.
I was taken aback. If you say you're taken aback, it means you're shocked, surprised about something. You're speechless. If you're, I'm just taken aback. You can't believe what's just happened.
Shocked,
speechless. And when something nice happens, you say that when something nice happens, really.
Well, it can be both.
It can be both, but yes.
Taken aback.
You wouldn't say, I saw a plane crash, I'm taken aback.
No, well, that's...
But you might say, there was a fight at work. In a meeting, there was a meeting and there was a fight. And God, I was taken aback. I've never seen George behave like that before. Or Mary. I was so taken aback. I've never seen them behave like that before.
Me neither. I can't believe George was like that.
Or somebody buys you a Ford Mustang for your birthday present and I'm taken aback. I can't believe it.
Like
even
this.
though it's just a model and not the real thing.
Yes, like this here with Mr. Steve 2 years ago. But the big question is, what will I get Mr. Steve tomorrow? Will I get anything for him? Because has he been good? Has he been naughty or nice? So I do feel like I am Santa Claus with Mr. Steve sometimes. So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Well, if it's not the real thing this time, Mr. Duncan, I won't appear on Sunday.
Okay.
Out of spite.
Nice.
I'm only joking. Of course I'll be here, Mr. Duncan. Yes. Oh. Anyway, yes. And I'll tell you what I'm taken aback by at the moment.
What are you taken aback by?
The amaryllis plant.
Yes, because it's getting bigger. And this is a plant that was given, well, it wasn't even a plant when you received it. It was just a tiny little bulb.
A bulb.
But now it's looking amazing. Would you like to see it? So this is what it looks like right now in the kitchen window. Prepare to be surprised. In fact, it's so heavy, Mr. Steve has to put a stake down the edge. There it is. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's coming out, Steve.
The beautiful amaryllis.
So I think tomorrow, on your birthday, I think that particular flower, or both of those flowers you can see growing there, they will both be out in full bloom.
I'm just taken aback, gobsmacked, surprised and delighted. I'm going to have to tell the neighbour who gave that to me as a Christmas present. And I'll have to, well, I can't take it round to show her because it's too big and unwieldy, but I will have to take a photograph and show her. But as you pointed out, I've had to put a stake, a wooden stake into the pot in order to support the plant. Otherwise, it would have fallen over.
Yes, it's got so large.
Yes.
It's almost falling over.
Under its own weight, falling down under its own weight. But that's probably one of the best Christmas presents I've had. If not the best.
Yes.
I'm only joking.
Well, it might be. It might be the best one.
I would never have bought that for myself. A little bulb, and now it's must be nearly a metre tall. It's getting on for that, isn't it? It must be 70 centimetres,
Yes.
I would say.
I'm not sure about a metre.
It's not far off.
It might be as tall as us.
Maybe it will get as tall as us.
I'm getting worried now that it might come up the stairs at night and attack us, like that science fiction story, The Day of the Triffids. Oh.
I did feed it. I have been giving it fertiliser.
Oh, okay.
Liquid fertiliser. So I think that's probably helped. And it obviously enjoys being in that window. So, yeah, good. Hopefully we will it'll last maybe 2 weeks, I'm hoping, that flower.
2 weeks?
I hope it's not, I hope it's not dead by tomorrow and that all the petals have fallen off.
I don't think so. I think maybe
that would be a disappointment.
Maybe a few more days. Anyway, Steve,
yes,
let's cheer things up.
We haven't got long, have we?
Haven't we?
Well, I expect we'll go around 3, won't we, I would imagine?
Yes, well, let's just see what happens. Let's just see how fast we get through today.
Hint.
Well, you can go
I'm
now.
joking. I'm only joking, Mr.
Go
Duncan.
now if you want.
I'm joking.
Yes, these jokes are really missing.
Oh, it's just fun. It's just
anyway,
fun. Banter.
Here's another one, Steve.
Relax.
So we are talking about today's subject, which is drag. Drag. It's a great word, actually, and it's amazing how many ways this word can be used. So we are going to take a look now at some of the ways the word drag can be used. First of all, drag in the sense of moving slowly. Like today's live stream. Some people might say that today's live stream is dragging. It's going very slowly.
I wouldn't have used that example, Mr.
This
Duncan.
English lesson is dragging. It is going by so slowly. It seems to be so slow. It seems to be going by so slowly. Maybe if you are doing something or watching something that is not very interesting, or maybe it is a little boring, you might say that something is dragging.
A work meeting could be dragging on, and people are having discussions, and it's boring. Time seems to be going slowly. It's a drag. Literally, this meeting's a drag. It's dragging. It's going on and on and on. I just want it to end.
I'm sure we all have moments where we are doing something, and I think the workplace is a very good example, actually, because I think work is a place where, especially if you work in an office and there is a clock nearby, I think it's the worst scenario to be in if you are in a situation where you're at work and the clock is very close to you and you're always looking at the clock, but it never seems to move. Sometimes it looks as if it's going backwards rather than forwards. But yes, there is nothing worse than being in a situation. I always used to find when I used to work many years ago in retail, I used to hate the period of time between 2:30 and 4 o'clock. I used to find that the worst time of the day. And it used to go by so slowly, especially when we didn't have any customers coming in. It was really, really boring, to be honest.
Claudia's off to eat her meatballs and potatoes.
Oh, very nice.
She says ta-ta for now. So bon appetit, says Palmyra. And maybe you could take a picture.
Yes.
And show us the size of your meatballs.
Yeah. Now, there's a quote.
There's a quote. Yes, exactly. Vitas is off as well. Adoralia Hernandez Rodriguez hello everyone.
Okay.
Hello to you too. Are you new on this channel? If so, let's hope you're enjoying it.
Good. Can I carry on?
Yes.
Okay then.
I like to mention new people.
Drag in the sense of moving slowly, a tedious thing. A tedious thing can be said to be a drag. What a drag. Something is going by so slowly. It is so tedious, so boring. What a drag. Maybe you are sitting in, I think yours is a good example, the meeting, work meeting. And maybe there is one person standing at the front and they're just talking about things and it's not interesting at all. It's not interesting. What they're talking about is they're giving too much detail. They're talking about too much stuff. And it seems to be a drag. It is such a drag. It really is. My work has become a drag. It is something that I don't enjoy doing anymore. I think most people, when they start a new job, I think they like it. I think they think it's interesting and fun. But you know what happens eventually when you've been doing it for a while?
You get bored.
Mm.
Yes, you can do. Yes, it can become a drag. Anything that's boring, you can describe it as becoming a drag, or it's dragging if you're there at that time.
Even relationships.
Belarusia says, happy birthday. Sorry, Claudia. I went to the dentist yesterday, by the way, if you're still here.
Okay.
I had an appointment, a checkup, and a little polish and clean. 20 minutes cost me £40. What would you charge? I'll save that for Sunday because I think Claudia's probably eating now. Right.
What?
Just thought I'd throw that in.
Good. To be grabbed or held and pulled along the ground. So maybe you are getting out of a car and you close the door and maybe your coat gets caught and then the car starts to drive away and you find yourself being dragged along the ground. So you are being pulled along, normally by force. So you don't want it to happen. You're not asking the person to drag you along the road, but you might be forced along the ground. Normally it's a violent act. For example, the gang dragged me by my legs. I was dragged along the ground. So in this particular sense, you are definitely using it as something that is happening, as a verb. You are being dragged by me. You drag someone along the road. And quite often it's something that will cause injury, serious injury.
Of course, you can drag objects along the ground, can't you, as well? So you could drag a bucket along the ground. You could drag some waste in a bag.
Something heavy.
Something heavy. If you drag something along the ground, it's almost lazy. It's going to make... It means that you're, instead of lifting it up carefully, you're dragging it. You could cause damage to that object that you're dragging along. Don't drag my laptop along the desk. You might damage it. Because the implication is if you drag something, you might damage it. If you were to... Yes, it's almost like you're being lazy, isn't it?
Maybe you've got a heavy suitcase.
Yes, that's a good example.
And instead of carrying it, you drag the suitcase along the ground and you might cause damage because it is creating friction on the ground. Drag something. Can I say hello? I'm going to say hello now to Sparda Rajput, who says, it's my first time that I'm taking the live class. Hello to you, Sparda. I hope I pronounce your name right.
I like your symbol, your handle. What is that? Can you describe that to us? Yes, can you describe that symbol, your little handle to us?
Your icon.
Icon, that's right. Yeah, but welcome. Hope you're enjoying it. And don't forget to get your friends involved as well.
As it were. Here's another one, Steve. We are talking about words and phrases connected to drag. The word drag. To be raised badly as a child. So a lot of people used to say this about me because I was so rude. I was so impolite as a child. And as I got older, people used to say, Duncan, did your family drag you up? Were you dragged up? So to be raised badly as a child, maybe your parents didn't teach you how to be polite and nice. So you might say his parents must have dragged him up because he has no manners. He's not polite. He seems to have no social awareness. Or maybe her manners are bad. She must have been dragged up.
Yes, again, that's the implication behind the word dragged there, is almost a laziness. It's like if you drag your suitcase across the tarmac, if you're too lazy to lift it. It's almost like if you say your parents have dragged you up, it means that they've been lazy in a way. They haven't really taught you in the way that parents should, in terms of manners and things like that, and how to dress, how to behave in front of people.
I think it's safe to say that your parents did not drag you up.
No, I was brought up proper, Mr. Duncan.
To be polite and
I was
nice.
brought up properly, yes. I've abandoned most of that as I've got older, but yes, no, you're quite polite. I wouldn't have said that you were dragged up.
Well,
maybe you were.
That's a debate for another time.
Yes.
Here's another one. The sound. So we can say that the sound of something being the sound made by friction, or the friction of something whilst moving. So maybe you are moving along and there is a sound, as if something's being dragged. So the sound can be described as dragging. It is a dragging sound or a dragging noise. There is a dragging noise coming from under the car. It is a sound of something scraping along the road as you are driving.
Yes, when it comes to objects dragging, there's often a certain sound associated with that. Like if you drag your suitcase across the ground, it'll make that annoying sound, won't it? Yes. The friction of the suitcase in contact with the ground. And yes, if there's your exhaust might have come loose and might be dragging on the tarmac.
Tailpipe.
Yes, your tailpipe or your exhaust pipe could have become unhooked and could be dragging on the tarmac, and that'll make a certain sound, won't it, that will annoy everybody.
It will. Here's another one, Steve. To dress flamboyantly. To perform whilst cross-dressed. So maybe a man might dress up as a lady and perform an act. So maybe something that is very, theatrical.
Yes. It's a particular style, isn't it? It's a particular thing that is seen in theatres, in pantomime a lot. And it's become very popular on the television now for some reason. It used to be certain people, certain men, comedians usually, a man dressing up as a woman.
Well, it's very British.
Is you describe them as being in drag?
Yes. So it's very much part of British comedy or British humour, is a man putting women's clothing on and then behaving in a very theatrical way, or maybe pretending to be a certain character.
Yes.
So it is very much a British thing over the years. Monty Python. I'm sure a lot of people know about Monty Python and all of their comedy over the years, and quite often they would dress up in women's clothing and pretend to be different characters. So it is something that has been around for a long time. Men who perform in drag in maybe bars or clubs. So they will have a very theatrical persona or character. So it is something that happens.
It's funny. It's comedic. When a man dresses as a woman in pantomime, it's very common. The pantomime dame is a female character, but is played as a man dressed as a woman, and that has certain comedic aspects to it.
Yes.
So drag is normally a kind of comedy, although these days it's taken more seriously, isn't it?
Well, I think it's become a cultural thing. Certainly over the last 10 years, it's become more of a cultural thing, and there are more and more people talking about it for various reasons. Would you like to see me with some people in drag? Here we go. So this is me when I was in London in the mid-1990s. This is the 1990s. So there I am, a very young Mr. Duncan, with lots of men dressed up in drag. But of course, I suppose I should ask, have you ever done drag, Mr. Steve?
I have, yes. I going to a party. It's good fun, actually. And, you know, you don't have to be gay to enjoy that. The Rocky Horror Show. You've been to a Rocky Horror show,
yes.
And men dress up from heterosexual men, dress up as women. It's just fun to do.
My friend Mike, a friend of ours from years ago, Mike Davis, his name, and I remember one night I went to see Rocky Horror Show with myself, my friend Sean, and also Mike. And Mike dressed up in all women's clothing. And I remember we went around a place called Penkridge, which is not far away from where we live. And we went into a chip shop, and our friend Mike was dressed in drag. Here is Mr. Steve in drag. Would you like to see him?
Oh, God, Mr. Duncan, I didn't know you'd got that picture. Oh, my goodness.
This is a party that we went to. This is a party that we went to in the 1990s, and there is Mr. Steve looking like a beautiful lady.
It was just a party.
Yes.
And
well, it was, yes.
Yeah, that's it. No, I mean, when men...
It was fancy dress.
When men do drag, the idea is you're not trying to really look like a woman.
No.
You're just wearing women's clothes, and so you're not making a huge effort.
Well, there's various types.
There's various types.
There's
various types of drag. But
so this was a party we went to. We went to a party, fancy dress. So Steve decided to go all the way, and he dressed up in drag. And I think that's the only time you've ever really done it. And you can see next to him, who is that young lad next to him?
I don't know. I don't recognise that person at all.
Could that be me?
Yeah, there was a theme. You went as a cyclist.
I went as a cyclist because I was lazy.
I went as a woman.
Yes.
And yes, it was good fun.
It was very interesting.
I did do it once at work. We had a work party. And excuse me, Mr. Duncan. And quite often when we had work meetings, there would be one night when there was always a theme to the night. So they had this particular theme one year when they wanted the women to dress as men and the men to dress as women. So there's probably about 100 of us in this company meeting. And so the theme was, I mean, sometimes you had to go dressed in pyjamas.
Yes, I think
it was different themes every time we had a bit. So this one was men dressed as women, women dressed as men. So I decided, okay, I'll go dressed as a woman. But when I got to the meeting, hadn't discussed it with anybody else, went to the party, and guess who was the only man that had dressed as a woman?
I'm going to guess that was you.
It was me.
Yeah.
All the other men had chickened out and had just just put a wig on or something with their normal clothes. I was in a full dress that somebody had made for me, a wig and everything. And it was a very odd experience because all the men couldn't relate to me as they normally do, because my friends, my girlfriends at work,
Yes.
had made a huge effort to make me look as feminine as possible. And the other men at work who know me, they couldn't talk to me normally. They could only see me as a woman. It was quite strange. It was very odd the way they were.
Yes. Were they chatting you up?
They were chatting me up, exactly, yes. I mean, I was...
Did you get lucky?
Yeah, well, several times, yes. I was being passed around from one to the other,
Okay.
I'm only joking, Mr. Duncan.
That's
I was the company bike that night, as they say.
So there we are.
Hop aboard.
This is about 26 years ago, 27 years ago. There we are, looking very young there, and Mr. Steve looking very glamorous.
Flowers here, by the way. Flower Espoir. We say hello to you. It's nice to see you here. Lots of people welcoming you. Isn't everybody on the live stream? They're always so friendly. They say hello to anybody that comes on.
Anyway, we've got to move on with our subject, Steve, because
Right.
you want to go at 3, and we've got 2 minutes.
Well,
Here's another one. To accompany someone unwillingly. You might have to go with someone. Maybe they want to go shopping, but you don't want to. And they want to go around all of the shops, especially husbands who are going shopping with their wives. And the wife, you know what it's like. The ladies like to go to the shops to look at new dresses, or maybe what's new in fashion, or maybe to buy a new pair of shoes. And you have to go around all of these places. You might say that you are dragged around. He dragged me around town looking for new clothes. My wife dragged me around the town or around the shops looking for a new pair of shoes. So to do something, to accompany someone, but you don't really want to.
yes, the implication is that you wouldn't go willingly. Instead of walking, they'd literally have to be dragged, like you try to drag a dog if it doesn't want to go outside.
Well, it's figurative.
It's figurative, exactly. Sometimes you have to drag your dog, don't you, if it doesn't want to go somewhere that you want it to go, or your pet.
So that is another use of the word drag.
The implication being you didn't want to do it.
To express unwillingness as well. You will have to drag me there. You will have to drag me there. That means I don't really want to go there. So maybe someone is inviting you to a party, but you don't really want to go there. You might say, look, I don't want to go. You will have to drag me there. That means you have to force me to go because I don't want to go there.
Yes.
It's a good one, that one.
And you can picture yourself being dragged by your feet, maybe.
Again, it's used figuratively.
Yes.
To force someone to do something. You will come to the show even if I have to drag you there. So that is something you might actually say to a person. Again, it's used figurative. It's not really a threat. It's not a physical threat, but they are saying, you must come. You have no choice. You have to come with me. You will come with me if I have to drag you there.
Lewis says that my wife sometimes drags me to the supermarket. Yes, you see, you don't want to go shopping, you don't want to do the food shopping, but your wife insists, and maybe you have a few words. No, you are coming with me. I'm not going on my own.
Yes.
So the implication is that you're going unwillingly.
I think it's fair to say that quite often men do not want to do the same thing as their wives.
Particularly when it comes to clothes shopping.
Yes, I don't think men don't like shopping, really, do they? We don't like it. I don't like it, to be honest. I hate going shopping for clothes, especially because you have to take your clothes off as well. I hate it when you go into the changing room and it might be a hot day. And there's nothing worse than having to take your clothes off and try on clothing when the weather is really hot. You just don't want to do it. No. It's too much effort. A boring activity. Can you think of a boring activity, Steve?
Yes, as you've got there, a conference. Sometimes work conferences are boring. And it's just the whole thing, as we've discussed, as we mentioned earlier, time seems to stand still. You're not engaged mentally in it. Sometimes you're having some training at work on something which you're not interested in at all, particularly if you think it's not going to add anything to your expertise. You might have been dragged along to it.
Yes.
Sometimes things are compulsory, aren't they? And it's just an unenjoyable activity or boring.
I think so. Here's another one. We have about 3 more and then we're going.
Oh, Pedro's here.
Okay. Pedro Belmont. The phrase.
Or is it his brother?
Okay. The phrase drag one's heels. If you drag your heels, it means you are showing unwillingness to do something. You don't want to do it, or you are showing reluctance. You don't want to do it. Something that you don't really want to do, you drag your heels. Maybe you have to make a decision and you have to do it quickly, but you don't want to do it quickly. You have to think about it carefully and for a long period of time. We might say that that person is dragging their heels. It is used figuratively, not literally. So you are showing unwillingness.
Have you finished, somebody might say to you, your boss might say, have you finished that report yet that I asked for? And you say no, and they might reply back and say, well, don't drag your heels. I need that by next week.
Yes, it's a good one. Here's another one. To drag something out, to take a long time to do something or explain something. So maybe a person is telling a story or they're explaining something and they are really taking a long time to get to the point. You drag something out. It means you are extending the period of time. You are taking too long to explain something. Another one, of course, is to drag something out of a person. Maybe you're trying to get information from them as well. You try to drag that information out of them. You are persuading them to tell you.
Yes, maybe you've heard that somebody's having an affair with somebody in the office.
Ooh.
And you know a person that knows the details about it, and you go and ask them, and they're unwilling to tell you because maybe they don't want to talk about it. Maybe they don't feel it's right to talk about it, but you keep prodding them and asking them questions and insisting on it. And they might turn around and say, oh, you're really trying to drag this information out of me, aren't you? You're not giving up. And you're trying to drag it out of them.
Yes.
But they're doing it reluctantly.
Here's another one. You might drag someone down. If you are being negative, you are talking to them in a negative way, you might drag them down. You are dragging that person down. You are saying negative things. You are discouraging them. You are depressing someone. You drag them down. You are pulling their mood down.
Yes, you're criticising. Sometimes people will criticise people, won't they? Almost deliberately sometimes. Particularly if someone appears happy or appears well, or life's going well for them. You might try to point out their negative things. You're looking a bit pale. Are you all right? Are you feeling well? Oh, your car's got a scratch on it. Oh, that's going to be expensive to repair, isn't it? Do you think you're going to be able to cope with that project at work? It's going to be very difficult, isn't it? And they might turn around and say, oh, stop trying to drag me down. You're trying to make somebody negative.
Yes, you are lowering their mood.
Yes, sometimes your partner can do that. Maybe unintentionally, but they could be doing it by criticising you. And criticism is often something that sort of drags you down, makes you feel tired and depressed, discouraged.
Finally, before we go, I'll drag you down with me. Maybe a person who is in trouble for doing something wrong. And maybe you want to take your work colleague down with you because they've also done something wrong. Or maybe they've said something bad in the past, so you want to damage them. If I go, you will go as well. I will drag you down with me. So maybe a person who might be in trouble with the law, maybe they've done something wrong, and maybe another person was involved. If I get in trouble, so will you. I will drag you down with me to cause the same fate as oneself.
Somebody actually said that to me once at work.
Oh.
They thought they were going to get the sack over something because I can't remember whether it was something to do with expenses or something like that, but they actually said to me once, they said, if I get, it's nothing to do with me at all, but it was out of spite because they didn't like me. They said, if I go, I'm going to drag you down with me.
Yes.
Because they, often with work colleagues, they know things that you've done that maybe you shouldn't have done,
Yes.
that would upset people. And they actually said that to me once, I'll drag you down with me.
And
Yes.
that's how you find out who your real friends are in this world.
Exactly.
I think so. That is it. So those are all the words and phrases connected to the word drag. Who would have thought that there would be so many? Talking of people that like to dress up in drag, there he is again, Mr. Steve.
That'll make Pedro excited.
He will,
I'm sure. Yes.
I think a lot of people will be screenshotting that picture and they will be looking at it tonight.
Many, many years ago, and I'm not reading any books yet, but I will do, Pedro.
The only books that Steve reads are car magazines.
Mainly.
Yes. It's magazines about motor cars. That is it. It's time to say goodbye. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. It has been, well, it's been a live stream, basically. That's all it's been. It's been nothing more and nothing less. We will see you on Sunday. And, of course, Mr. Steve is having his birthday tomorrow. Your birthday tomorrow? Mr. Steve will
Thank you for all your lovely good wishes for tomorrow, and maybe we'll share a few things with you on Sunday.
Yes. So we will find out what happens on Sunday. We might go somewhere tomorrow. It depends on the weather, because the weather is really strange again. I thought we were going to have some lovely weather, but it's gone all horrible, and I don't know why. Anyway...
It was just a party, Pedro. It was just a one-off time.
Yes. Watch the live stream again.
Yes.
Because we do explain it all during the live stream.
It's not something I do regularly.
No. Not for a week anyway. Not for at least a week.
No.
He hasn't done it. He does sometimes hang around the Guildhall in Much Wenlock around midnight. I don't know why he does
Well,
that.
I'm not working. I've got to earn some money somehow,
Yes.
Mr. Duncan.
I think
I'll have to get that dress back out again.
I think Mr. Steve might be a working girl. I'm not sure. Anyway, we're back on Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time. I hope you will enjoy the rest of your day. Whatever you are doing, do it with a smile. Like this.
And don't let life drag you down.
Yes. And don't let other people drag you down to their level. That is a good piece of advice. See you on Sunday and enjoy the rest of your week as well. This is Mr. Duncan and
Mr. Steve
saying thanks for watching. See you again on Sunday. Don't forget the time. 2 p.m. UK time is when we are back. And we have a whole new subject to talk about as well. Until then, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Are you ready, Steve?
I'm ready.
Ta-ta,
Ta-ta
for
for
now.
now.